I remember at one time when Victor, Brenda, and I failed math class. It was a tough time for me because I didn't understand anything. And I didn't put a lot of attention. So I didn't understand. I needed to attend two extra classes with a person like Lilian. So I went there and I was just like remembering that one time that we learned trinomials.
So first we'll learn how to solve trinomials by the form x squared plus bx plus c. First we need to open two parentheses. And we notice we have to multiply 2 times x so that it gives us a square. So then we write x and x. Then we start looking for two numbers that multiplied give us the third term and added the second one. In this case, that would be 6 and 2. So now we need to prove that our factorization was right. So we multiplied 2 times x and 6 times x, and then we add those two values. If the values give us the middle term, then that means our factorization was done correctly. Now, Brenda, please come to the front and solve this exercise. Oh my god, this is too hard! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Now, let's try another example. Let's think about it. X squared plus... Okay, so here we have our trinomial. And please, Victor, pass and solve it. Oh no, I can't solve it. Please try it. No. Well, Anna Karen, then you pass, please.
Man, I'm so smart. Oh yeah.
How do you know what kind of sign it's below?
Okay, so we have two possible answers here. If we have minus like we did here, that means but we have a positive here, that means we have to write 2 minus. So it gives us a positive sign. And if we have positives in both sides, we must write 2 positives. So did everyone understand?
Yes.
Yes.
I think I did.
Really?
No.
So there is another way of solving this kind of trinomials, and it's called the general formula. Do you know the general formula?
Is it more or less complicated?
It depends on the way you say it.
I think I'll try it.
So, you know the general formula?
No.
Yes.
But
Yes, Nagari,
I can
please.
see it.
Tell us your general formula. Do you remember this now, Victor? I'm sure you do.
Kind of.
Okay. So, what we have here is what we call general formula. What we do, simply substitute the values for x squared, for x, and for this is kind of an x power to the 0. So we need the coefficients. Which coefficient does x squared have here?
1.
And here x
Minus 4.
and x to 0. Okay. So we just substitute those values on this formula. So as we have a minus 4 here, then it will turn to a plus here. Because we have minus 4, which will turn positive. Okay? Then we have plus minus the square root of b squared, 4 times 4, minus 4 times minus 4, 16. Exactly. 16 minus 4 times a, which a is 1, times 3. Okay. So divided by 2 times 21. Okay, next thing we'll do. So we have 4 plus minus the square root of 16. 4 times 12. Exactly, minus 12 over 2. So, do you understand Victor now?
I think I do.
Okay.
Much better.
So then we'll have 4 plus minus the square root of 16 minus 12. 4. So we have 4 over 2. Which is the square root for 4? 2. Okay. So since we have a plus minus here, we'll take both values, plus 2 and minus 2. So we have 4 minus 2 over 2 is your x1, and your x2 will be 4 plus 2 over 2. Okay? And x squared will always have 2 different answers. So what do we do here? 4 minus 2, it's 2 over 2. Then x1 shall be 1. Okay?
Right.
And then x 4 plus 2 is 6 over 2, that's 3. So your x2 will be 3. So we're almost reaching the answer. What we have to do now is equal these values to 0. So then we'll have x1, x minus 1 is equal to 0, and x minus 3 will be equal to 0. So these are the values we have to factorize. So then we have x minus 1 times x minus 3 is our correct factorization. As you see, we got the same we got here. So that's the way you solve it with the general formula. Now do you understand, Victor?
Much better.
I didn't understand, so I watched a tutorial in YouTube.
Well, hi, this is a tutorial in how to do trinomial in the form ax squared bx plus c. Well, first, in order to factor it, you need to, first your equation. What about 6x squared minus 7x minus 3. Well, first you need to take this x and put it in brackets. So you put 6, and here you need to put it over 6. Okay, now you close your brackets. This 6 and put it in brackets. So you put 6, and here you need to put it over 6. Okay, now you close your brackets. Then after you do it, you need to multiply it. Well, first you need to take the root of this x squared. So you just put x and x. Then you need to take the first sign of your next number, that is a minus, so you put it in here, minus, and here you have minus. So you do the law of signs, so you have minus and minus. 2. So we get a minus 9 and 2, and that gives me minus 7 and minus 18. So now you need to get to do this easier. So you have common term in here, you have 3. So you just take the 3 out, you multiply it times 2x minus 3 times 2, that is the other one, the other common number in here, 2 times 3x and minus 1 plus 1 plus 1. minus and minus, plus. Then, well, you have these three, so you just multiply 6 times 3, it's equal to 18. And well, in order to get the number that goes in here and in here, you just get which number added gives me minus 7 and multiplied gives me 18. So first you need to think, what about 6 times 3? Well, it's 18 but not minus 7. So what about minus 9 and what about 2? That is the other one, the other common number in here, 2 times 3x and minus 1 plus 1 and all this over 6. Okay, so now we have these numbers and there are also factors of this one, so they just get cancelled. 3, 2 and 6, they get cancelled, and our final answer would be 2x minus 3 times 3x plus 1, and this one is our final answer. So